That's a big move.
And it was totally, because we would see, part of what made us move was we would see the pollution in LA go up and down with the changing of the temperatures of the night and the day. And we could see this muck kind of come down, go up. And we were like, this is not good. We need to be out of here. And so that's when my parents were like, okay, let's go somewhere. And it was, for my parents, it was between Steamboat and Aspen. And my mom was like, no, we got to be in a place that, because Steamboat wasn't really a town then. It was it was sort of a ranch place that was becoming a resort, but it wasn't really there yet, And whereas Aspen had a city hall that was there from the 1900s, so it felt like a real place. And my mom was just taken by that. And so that's why we ended up in Aspen. And I feel so lucky because, again, when I'd sit in, we were one of the members of the Aspen Club and all that stuff. But I remember early when the Aspen Club first started, I'd sit in the sauna and there'd be all the old guys that came from Europe sitting in the sauna.
Of course.
It was like you got a shot into culture. You got a shot into, because there would be German spoke and French spoke and it was almost as if there was another culture from Europe that existed in Aspen. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of interesting. And as a kid, the only shot I remember really feeling some of that from the world was when World Cup would come in and everybody would come from all over the world, you know? And it felt like we had our little pocket of that was there all the time. And I felt like, to me, that was what made Aspen so unique.
Exactly. The Obermeyers of the world, they definitely came with the heritage. And, he was a dear friend. He was a student of mine in Aikido for quite a while. And little Klausy came also for a while.
Yep.
Those guys, those are examples of exactly what you were talking about. To be around a person like Klaus, his power, his humor, of course, you take a sauna and then you do a cold plunge. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
Versus, that's good heritage.
It's also a little bit too where I feel like people they gave into the community a bit. In other words, they were part of the community. I remember being in places where Klaus would walk in and he was just like everybody else, but you knew him because you heard the yodel coming from, down the street,
That's right. What was the restaurant? Wiener Stube.
Yes, the Wiener Stube.
Always at Wiener Stube every week. He'd be there. Where would he be? The community table. That's where he'd be. That was the way.
I met him at 11 years old at the joiners table. That was the first time I saw Klaus, and I was like, that guy looks special. I wonder who he is, And eventually, going to school with his kids, I found out.
Well, and all the guys. All the characters, the Broadduses and the Thompsons, and they were all there, and the Denvers. They were always willing to just be wherever the people were. They weren't, running away. They weren't hiding in some kind of fame. They were just there. It was great to always see Broaddus and Thompson hanging out together. Of course, usually because Broaddus had to take away his gun or something.
Yeah, right.
There was always a reason, I played in the Jimmy Buffett golf tournament one year. Jimmy Buffett always had a yearly golf tournament. So here's my team. You'll love my team. Myself, Hunter Thompson, Jerry Jeff Walker, Bob Broaddus, and some hustler Vegas golf pro, real gambler. That was our team. We won that tournament, if you can imagine.
Wow.
But that's because Jerry Jeff Walker, who was on oxygen the whole time, he was having a little trouble, was a great golfer, along with this pro. Hunter never even showed up the first day. He staggers in limping the second day. And we said, what the hell were you? You missed the first day, And he said, well, my tractor ran into my log pile and I hurt myself. So that's what his limp was about. And he was drinking. He disappeared within 2 holes, and none of us knew where he went. None of us knew where he went. He's just suddenly, where's Hunter? He was gone. So that was the kind of makeup of the people in those days. But it was the best. It was
the wild bunch.
Well, they're just, but it was just suddenly that's who you found yourself around in any given moment, whether it was in a restaurant or in a golf tournament, or people were willing to be, and no one's hiding out of either behind their fame or whatever their dysfunction might be. We showed up.
You know what it felt like to me? It felt like to me that, and I don't know if it's the same now, but back then, people came to Aspen to just let go, let all their garbage from their normal lives disappear and go. And they just wanted to have an experience in a place where they could talk to regular people and have normal conversations and just sit in a hot tub and hang out. And and that was Jimmy Buffett, and that was Jack Nicholson, and that was George Hamilton. It was generations of folks that just did that. And
they wanted that freedom. They wanted the freedom to be away from the mask that they had to wear.
Yeah.
You're wearing a mask. Well, what's your mask? The speaker mask, the singer mask, the martial artist mask? No, what's beyond the mask? And where can I go where I could do that? And I think that was definitely the attachment that brought us. So it maybe didn't bring us here. It might have been the skiing, but kept us here.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The enticement was the skiing and the amazing snow, of course.
You can't have a sheriff like Broadus and an outlaw like Hunter and not love the town.
It's the lion and the lamb hanging out together again.
Oh my God! And all the kids running around doing their stuff. It was great. And